To create a new permission slip or form to send to multiple people, click the Create button from the main listing page. The first step is to give it a name. This should be a name that is relevant to the purpose of the form, like Year 10 Camp or Parent Survey 2023. This first option allows you to send a no action required permission slip. This allows you to send caregivers an announcement about an upcoming event without requiring them to fill out a form or give approval. This can be useful for a sport team where parents have already given consent for the entire season, but you want to send them details about a specific event without requiring them to action a form. The next set of options allow you to choose who can view and who can action the form. First, you can choose if you send the form to the A residence caregivers only, or both residents A and B, as defined in your student management system. If you choose the residents A and B option, all 4 caregivers will receive the form, and whoever reacts first will be the approver. The next set of options determine who can view and who can action the form. The Make Decision option grants the recipient the ability to fill out the form and give their approval or decline the form. The Save Only option allows the recipient to enter information into the form, but they cannot approve or submit it. The View Only option allows the recipient to view the form and the information entered into it by the opposite recipient, but they cannot enter information or submit it. With the Hidden option, the recipient will not see the form at all. In most cases, you will set it so that the caregivers are the form actioners, but there are times when you will want to capture information submitted by students, like ICT agreements. Normally, the information submitted via forms that you create will be visible by both caregivers and students, regardless of who is set as the actioner. This last option allows you to hide the form and its submitted information from either students or caregivers. When you choose this option, the designated group will not be able to see the form exists or view the information submitted. Once you have decided on these initial settings, click the Create button. Clicking the Create button will bring you into the status view of the form. Along the top, you will see a row of useful status information that will display once your form is active. To finish setting up the form, click Edit Options. This is where you can set up all of the specific options that determine when your form needs to be actioned and what needs to be captured. Setting the due date sets the date by which you want the actioner to have responded to your form. The event date is the date of the actual event. If you are creating a general purpose form that is not tied to a specific event date, you can set this date to the same day as your due date. This lock option works in conjunction with the due date you set. When you keep this option ticked, after the due date passes, caregivers and students will no longer be able to action the form and will have missed their opportunity to submit it. The next option will automatically resend the form 48 hours before the due date if the recipient has not yet responded. You can also send reminders manually from the status page. The Staff Member Responsible setting allows you to send the form on behalf of another staff member. If you want the form to appear as it's being sent from someone else, you can search in this field and choose another staff member. The Staff Member Attending setting allows you to add additional staff members to the permission slip or form. The staff members that you add will have access to the form and the data submitted. Adding additional staff members will also allow you to create groups within the students you add to the permission slip by assigning them to specific staff members. The post-event feedback option allows you to collect feedback from caregivers about events that their students have participated in. Ticking this option will automatically send a notification to caregivers 5 days after the conclusion of the event. The notification will provide caregivers with a link they can click that takes them to a form where they can submit a star rating and give a comment. The type setting determines if the form is sent to a group of recipients in bulk or if you want to create a form that students or caregivers can self-start. Setting this to permission slip allows you to choose a group of users to send the form to all at once. Setting this to student form creates a form that students or caregivers can start themselves by clicking the Start Form button that they see when they are viewing their own permission slips and forms. The language presented on the form is also slightly different depending on the type. Permission slips present the user with a button labeled Approve. Student forms present the user with a button labeled Complete. The final setup step will be to choose the form that you want to send to your users. Ticking the Pre-populate this form setting will fill in the user's previous answers if they have used the same form in the past. Especially with EOTC events, you want to ensure that parents provide you with the most up-to-date information regarding health and safety issues, so please use this setting carefully. Normally, when a user submits a form, it becomes locked so they cannot change the information. This setting allows the user to make changes to the form for as long as it is open. The payment options allow you to collect fees related to your permission slip or form. The default setting is no payment. Many schools in New Zealand are set up to collect fee payment via the Kmart portal. When you set this option, after a caregiver approves your form, they are automatically directed to the payment page in the Kmart portal without having to sign in. As it is not possible to load a charge in Kmart from an external service, you will need to ensure that you have added the charge you intend to collect from your users before you send the form. The Payment Gateway option provides the most convenience for both your caregivers and your administration team. Using this option means that caregivers can pay the fee quickly using their credit card immediately after giving their approval or submitting their form. The Payment Provider option allows you to choose the provider that will process the payments. The options here will depend on what your school has set up with your school's bank or other payment providers. Enter the amount you want to charge the user and then set the minimum and maximum quantities. The max quantity setting allows you to cater for things like school balls or tickets. For a normal permission slip, you would set both the min and max to 1. For an event like a school ball where the student has the option of inviting a guest, you can set the max quantity to 2 to allow them to pay for up to 2 tickets. Schoolbridge provides several export and reporting options once your form is active in collecting data. Of particular value when conducting EOTC events is the Event Take-Along Report. This report offers you a handy printout that lists all of the relevant student and caregiver contact information, as well as the health alert flags from your student management system. The text that you enter into this field will display on the first page of the Take-Along Report, giving you a handy place to note any front-of-mind issues that you want to highlight for yourself and the other staff members involved in the event. The text you enter into this field will be displayed in the email notification that the caregiver or student receives. This should be used to provide the recipient with a brief explanation of the event or the purpose of the form. The text that you enter here will also display above the form when the user is filling it out. If you have more detailed information that you need to send, you can attach an additional event letter in the next option. The event letter option allows you to add additional detailed information that will accompany your form. The letter you attach will be sent with the email notification sent to the user and also saved in Schoolbridge, linked above the form when they are filling it out. You can attach your own PDF file or use the editor to create an event letter that will be converted to a PDF and attached for you. You can also opt not to attach an event letter if it is not needed. The final step is to choose the form you want your recipients to fill out. When you click the Choose Form button, you will be presented with a list of forms that are available for you to use. To choose a different form, click the Choose Form button again and select a different form. If you do not see a form that fits your purpose, please contact your Schoolbridge administrator and they will be able to modify an existing form or create a new form that suits your needs. After you have selected your form, click Save to save your options and then click Back to return to the main status view.